right, here we are. It is 10 minutes to 6 in the evening. I am just getting to the garage. So, my ambitions to get out here earlier were thwarted by my own doing and by some unforeseen circumstances. A couple of phone calls this morning dealing with my father's health. Um, just trying to figure out what the hell is going on. I'm highly aggravated. Allow me to say this. The VA has a history of putting off certain aspects of any veteran's health, I would assume. But in this case, my father's, we went for several years, more than a decade, of them knowing he had the growth on his thyroid and it eventually needed surgery. So, that was just one of those things they just kind of kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. So that's just kind of indicative of how things go sometimes. So he's had this chronic cough forever. However, it has worsened over the years, and in the last, 2 years maybe, probably since he had the thyroid thing taken out, which, was significantly larger than what it was initially and could have been impairing his swallowing and speech and coughing. But it doesn't seem to have been the case. So, I don't know how scar tissue works. I don't know how those kind of things, smoke inhalation and whatnot, works. If it does affect your throat and breathing in the future, does it digress over time? Because it's been nearly 52 years since we had a house fire, and certainly that can't still be affecting this issue. I'm annoyed that the cough has been allowed to just go on and on and on and on, undiagnosed, untreated, uncared for at all. There's no attention being given to it at all. The only thing that's ever been done was by the doctor previous to the one he has now, who we still haven't met. When she took him off of lisinopril, which is for blood pressure, but it's recommended for diabetics to protect their kidneys. So they took him off of it because of the cough. And even though it's been discussed several times about lisinopril didn't change the cough, he hasn't been put back on it. So the drug that most doctors would say diabetics should be on for blood pressure because of the protection of their kidneys has not been given to a man who is experiencing kidney failure. Would that change his kidney failure outcome? Probably not, but it certainly couldn't hurt. Could not hurt. Because his blood pressure is high too. His blood sugar is high too. And now, here we are, getting closer and closer to dialysis. And they're trying to change meds. And last Thursday, met with the nephrologist. He increased one of his meds, I would say significantly, 50% increase. And he was sick as a dog all weekend. So we stopped. I stopped yesterday. I just decided this is ridiculous. This medicine is not worth any effect it might actually be having. And got on the horn this morning with the doctor's nurse, and then eventually the doctor called for us to discuss it, and he agreed. And he didn't just tell me to not add the additional doses. He told me to cut the dose he had been on previously in half. May have a negative impact in one aspect of his kidney function, may not, but at least it will allow him to not be gagging and literally heaving every time he eats. Because now he's getting to the point where he just doesn't even want to eat. That doesn't work either. Not for a diabetic. So anyway, that's been a big hunk of my day. Laundry, I have third load in now. I have one more I'd love to do tonight, but I probably will put it off till tomorrow. I guess that's really it. I had some things on the computer I wanted to do. Got three of them done. I got my computer stuff done today. Still no word from the VA caregivers group. Kind of waiting on that. because it's kind of like I went on these interviews, and imagine a job interview, right? You're going on a job interview, and then you get a second job interview with the same place, the second interview. Then you get a third interview, and they tell you, oh, you're hired, you got to do the training, and you're good to go. And I do the training, and it's been 3 months Wednesday, and haven't got my first paycheck yet. I'm not taking care of my father to be paid, but when they tell me they're going to pay me, I kind of want to get paid. So I'm still waiting. 3 months and however many days. Last week. Anyway. And then Spurs were on USA, which I can't get in the garage. And I had to watch Spurs. And they won. So that was nice. Harry got on the board, which levels him with Jimmy Greaves. If you don't know who Jimmy Greaves is, I'll just tell you. He is a Spurs legend. He's a Spurs all-time leading goal scorer. And Harry is now level with him with 266, I think, goals. Maybe more than that. Anyway. And news is coming out that Harry has decided he wants to extend his contract, which is a little bit of a surprise because the rumors all were that he was leaving. I think he wants to stay. I think at his age, and having just reached this legendary status, I think he wants to stay, which would be good. Now, if we get Sonny back on track, get him scoring some goals, get a young, more adept goalkeeper, fine-tune our defense, and give the coach enough money to pursue the players he wants, we might just turn around and surprise some people. We may finish in the top 4 if we could pull something out of our ass. Oh, Spurs. It's, when I chose Spurs as my team, as I had already started to kind of look at their history and know that I might be in for a wild ride, and my God, has it been a wild ride. So it's the team you love and that you hate to love. And love to hate, but I love them. Anyway, that was the lone Premier League match today. Speaking of which, Miss Rebecca Lowe, the wonderful host of NBC's Premier League coverage, misspoke yesterday. And I might just have to contact her on social media. But she did say that all the teams had been represented in the Fan Fest this weekend in Orlando. And if she meant that there were fans from every team there, that's one thing. But she made it sound like all the teams had played through that window. They didn't. Spurs played today. They played Thursday and then today. I may actually have to look at that. Maybe she just meant that every club had fans there, which I could see that. That's kind of a no-brainer, but anyway. FanFest weekend was over. Today's the last match of this window, or this game week, as they call it. And now we're off for almost 2 weeks because this coming weekend is an FA Cup weekend. And Spurs play, I don't know what day, 27th maybe. I forget when they play again. 29th. Anyway, it's not a Premier League match, but they play again soon. And I look forward to that. NFL playoffs yesterday were great. Glad to see the Cowboys lose. What more can you ask for? So today, for my workout, I really don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to row for sure. And if I lift, it's going to be like the 5th day in a row maybe, which is unusual for me. My shoulder's not been great the past couple of days, so maybe it needs a break. Well, then why are you going to row? It's just not the same. Rowing doesn't seem to bother my shoulder. I may have said before, but when I got the rower, I actually talked to the man who was my physical therapist after my first shoulder surgery and asked him if he thought that would be detrimental to my shoulder, putting more meters on a rowing machine. Partly because I enjoy it, but partly because my feet don't let me do as much cardio as I need to. He said, nope, shouldn't bother you at all. It's an underhand motion. You don't hear about softball pitchers who pitch underhanded having shoulder issues. It's the overhanded. That's the motion that gets you. And rowing being an underhand motion, so to speak, doesn't bother me. Now maybe the ski having that motion, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I'll ski today or not. But anyway, time to get at it. If I do lift, it'll probably be back exercises. Some, not sure what, but I'll figure it out. And I may or may not show you any of it. And I may not even talk to you again. If you want to know what I did for my workout, check out my Instagram page. It's the same as it is here, That Fitness Guy. So that's it. Thanks for watching. See ya.